We're just gonna do this because we just need to talk. This is, first of all, hi, I'm Ashley. You have reached my channel, and this is a channel where I talk about God, goals, and grad school. This video in particular is in service of the goal of staying sane. Sane, that's all. I just want to have this check-in with you because you know what? It's the eve of the US election. And I don't know about you, but there's a little bit of tension going around. And I just want to share a little bit about my past experiences in different liberal and conservative environments during election and just offer some non-partisan self-care tips for this time. So if you're interested, you know what? Keep on watching. If you're not, if you just want GRE content, that's okay. Just, click up there and I will link you to the latest GRE content. This is for the people who are feeling it and want to talk with me about this because like I said before, I have spent time on both sides of the political spectrum when it comes to spending my time in college. I went to Pepperdine University as an undergrad, and I was there when President Obama won for the first time. And I was pretty excited about Obama, mostly because I distinctly remember in 9th grade when my history teacher told me that we'd have a black president. I was pretty sure that I was going to be 87 years old when that happened. And for that to happen literally 4 years later, I was pretty excited, not gonna lie. So when President Obama won and I was on Pepperdine's campus, it looked and felt like a funeral, a complete funeral. For me personally, as a black woman, I was super excited about it. And politics aside, I can definitely see myself agreeing with both Republican and Democratic ideals. That particular time, I was just super happy to see a sign of progress, not the elimination of racism, as some people thought it was, which is weird. But again, on a personal note, politics aside, it was momentous for me. And for it to feel like someone died on on election day and the times after, it was pretty isolating. That said, I found myself also on a college campus at the University of Michigan when President Trump won the presidency. And it was a familiar feeling. It's a generally liberal kind of school, and that same kind of funeral dread kind of came over the school, which is okay. That was a really important time for me because I realized that no matter what happens tomorrow or next week or whenever we find out who won the US presidential election, some people are going to feel hurt, dread, isolated. And if 2016 taught me anything, it's just super important that we listen to people because it's okay to disagree with someone. You don't have to disown their humanity if you disagree with their politics. So that said, that's why I'm doing this video, because I just want, no matter who you voted for, as long as you voted, please vote, please vote. No matter who you're rooting for, I want you to take care of yourself, because I know from firsthand experience in both elections that I'm referencing that this is a hard time for people. People are very uncertain. They have a lot of emotions invested in both candidates, and we're in the middle of a pandemic too. So I wanted to kind of check in, offer some tips. One of the things that I have been gearing up for is just DIY catharsis time. I am a very creative person. I like to make things. I like to make videos, of course. And I have like this kind of building like inner wood shop worker in my soul that I haven't really let out lately. So I've been kind of binging on DIY Huntress. Her videos are awesome. I will link them in the comments below. I have picked up some things to work on around the house. I say this to say is I think it's going to be really important for you to take inventory of what gives you joy, what takes your mind off of what's going on so that you can just focus on that to recover. The second thing that I hope that we all do, no matter the outcome, is that I hope that we remember to love. Remember to love. Remember to try to stay united. I know that these are very divisive and polarizing times, but there's just so much value that we can glean from learning from each other. So, take your time to process your emotions, but I surely hope that after that, we can talk and try to figure out what made each other feel so passionate about one outcome or the other, and try to see if there are some things that we can agree on. The third thing that I think would be really important is to still stay active. I think that I'll just speak from experience where there have definitely been times where I just, paid attention to the presidential election, and that's the big one, so I made sure to vote there too. But what I'm learning, especially with all the things that have been happening this summer and beyond, it's just so important that we engage in our local politics and midterm elections and things like that, because if we want to actually sustain, create, or keep change going, then it's going to be important for us to pay attention and stay engaged, even if it's an off presidential year. That is something that's really important. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about runoff elections and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more of a lift to try to keep track of these things because you don't have a lot of the major news publications keeping track of the information for you. But I highly, highly recommend that you stay engaged with your Secretary of State, government websites, and things like that so that you can make sure that you're getting the most accurate primary resources. Primary resources are going to be extremely important during this time because there's just a lot of misinformation out there, and you want to make sure that you're getting the right kind of information so that you can make your vote or your engagement count. Now, I realize that third tip was kind of getting you back into the political sphere when, we're talking about self-care, but I think that still aligns. It's important for us to engage and speak about what's important to us because that the government has a lot to do with our lives, and voting is a form of self-care. Staying involved is a form of self-care. So even though I'm pretty sure we're going to want to disconnect a little bit, I just want to remind you, come on back. Come on back. There's still work to do because as long as we stay engaged, I believe, hope, and pray we can maintain a semblance of a pseudo-democracy that we have. If you have any questions about the pseudo-democracy statement, that is not partisan. It's kind of sad because Patriot Act is over, but Hassan Minhaj did a really, really cool bit on the voting system and how we vote. So I will just link it down below so that you can learn a little bit more. And then again, I encourage you to get into those primary sources as well. The next tip I have for you is really discern how much media you're going to be taking in at this time. It's going to be a roller coaster, to say the least. And I think that the more that we take in all the different voices, the screaming, the all of the extra stuff, the more anxiety it creates. And I think it's going to be very important during this self-care season to be a stronger gatekeeper of what you're going to allow into your energy, so that, we can make it through this. I don't anticipate that we'll understand what happens tomorrow. And even if we do, who knows what will happen we just don't know. We're here for self-care. I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to reach for your dreams, your goals. So if you have any questions or any other tips that you want to share with the Brilliant AF crew, put them in the description. Nope, not the description. Put it in the comments below. I really want this to be a community for us to be able to comfort each other, help each other grow, regardless of our political stances or anything like that. So if you have any encouragement that you want to post, put it down there. If you have any video requests for what I should start putting in the goals section of my YouTube channel, let me know too, because I would really appreciate that. I'll see you next time.